Oh yeah. Lately, I haven't been joining her streams to play games with her because I really do just want to play Genshin. I'm just playing what I want to play. I will take a break though, like just to get some more water. I ran out of water in my water bottle, and I need to throw away my empty Mountain Dew can that I brought with me up here. Oh shoot! I forgot to equip my. Oh! I knocked over my can. Forgot to equip my Xbox controller. Good thing Xbox just has USB, right? Right. Right. Because now I have to freaking change controls. Darn it. Hold on. Settings? Not on keyboard. I don't want to be on keyboard. Alright. Okay. Alright, you guys aren't seeing it. Alright, I'll be right back. Hello. I am back. Okay. Alright. Oh shoot, party set up. Give me Amber. I need Amber.
Outrider Amber, reporting.
Yes, Amber. I need you. Yeah, Feline Fortress Ferodici. Ferdici. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, or Caravan Ribato. Caravan Ribato.
Skyward!
Wait, where are we going? Oh shoot. Have we been... Enter the Furball Fortress? Okay, it's kind of getting hot in here. Okay, hold on. Wait. Well, after this cutscene, I will turn on the ceiling fan.
Oh, it's just a regular house. Oh, gotta say, Paimon was expecting something a little bigger with Fortress in the name and everything.
This was the biggest space I could find in the city over the past few weeks. The rent is cheap, so that's a plus. A half a year's worth of rent, along with all the Cat's Tail-inspired furnishings, only cost me a few million mora.
Good God! You guys heard that right? It's not just me. Few million mora. Oh my gosh. I'm turning on the ceiling fan. Few million mora.
Of course, not all of the cats will be staying indefinitely. We plan to offer some of the healthy ones up for adoption. As long as the new future owners prove capable and the cat seems like a good fit, they're welcome to take their new pet back to a loving home. This location is definitely good enough. We could even expand the business one day and start sheltering stray dogs, foxes, or even squirrels.
Sounds like a job for my Omni Ubiquity Net.
I'll probably have to think of a different name. Maybe the Furball and Friends Fortress would be a better fit.
I would suggest letting all of this play out first. You still don't know if the customers will even get along with the strays.
Huh? Look over there. That cat is staring at us.
Oh, it's the little white cat. She's super afraid of people. She ran away when we tried to give her a bath. It took us forever to track her down again.
She looks so soft and clean, and her fur is so white and fluffy, just like fresh fallen snow. Wait, that's perfect! We should call her Snowball!
Tofu would also be a good fit. Pudding isn't a bad choice either.
Ooh, those are some good names, Traveler, but Paimon thinks she likes Snowball best. Here, kitty kitty! That's it, Snowball! Good kitty! That's a good kitty!
It's been, what, a minute? And you already got the cat to listen to you. Did you see that, Miss Rosaria? She's practically a miracle worker. You really are a cat whisperer.
That was nothing. They may be strays, but as long as you give them a good name and call them with love, you're sure to gain their trust eventually. First things first, though, you gotta pay attention to the way you interact with them. How should Paimon put it? Basically, it all comes down to your demeanor. For example, you can't just stand there trembling in fear, Valerina. If you're afraid, the cats are sure to become afraid as well. As for you, Rosaria, you might want to keep an eye on your, facial expressions.
These poor creatures, picked up off the streets, given a name, and they now have a loving home. Fate is kind to even the lost souls who have wandered astray. This city really has brought peace and happiness to us all.
Hey, Snowball is snuggling up to Rosaria. Looks like she's not
Aw,
afraid of
that's
her anymore.
cute.
Did Rosaria just smile?
I saw it too! We should pretend like we didn't see anything.
No matter. There are more important things to focus on. Anyway, it's getting a bit stuffy in here. I'm going to go get some air. Call me if you need me.
Huh. Paimon thought Rosaria would be happier about that.
Please, teach me more of your ways, Honorary Knight. And you too, oh great cat whisperer.
You know, over the course of my time playing Genshin Impact, I can't help but realize that Paimon has been given a lot of hilarious nicknames.
We're sure to get more and more
Cat
students
Whisperer is one
coming
of
to
them
the
now.
Furball Fortress, and I doubt all of them will be as friendly as Snowball. There's still so much I don't know about interacting with them.
No problem. Just watch and learn. It's about time we move on to a more advanced lesson. How to get the cats not to just trust you, but to like you. It's all about patience. As long as you put in the effort to get to know them, you'll become best friends in no time.
I completely understand. The Furball Fortress is still in its trial phase, so the more I can learn at this stage, the better.
You must take various requirements into consideration when setting up your fluffy feline home. There are 3 attributes in this event: comfiness, durability, and aesthetics. You are required to select one suitable furnishing of each type in such a way that the overall area fits the 3 attribute requirements exactly, no more and no less. The icon of the furnishing's primary attribute will be displayed in the upper left corner of the interface. In addition to the main attribute, it will also provide a small amount of other attributes. There is only one unique combination of furnishings that furnishes the attributes needed to complete the challenge, and the furnishings that comprise that combination have appearances that complement each other the best. After you have completed your fluffy feline home setup, you can place food into the cat food bowl to be acknowledged by them. After you have fed a cat, you can call the corresponding cat at the throne of Meower or invite it to play directly. Throne of Meower. Well, okay. What's this? Place. What we got here? What we got? Each furnishing must be carefully selected to fulfill requirements. Accessories, ornaments, seats. So we got gentle light, tea time, whatever this thing is. What is reminder? Too early for a hint? Oh. Lunch break, cornucopia chair, omni-perk, overflowy. I will... Comfiness? Oh, you can put stuff? No. Oh. 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 Oh, that's cool. So you can just, like, fill stuff in here, but you have to try and get it exactly. Oh, shoot! Okay, cool. Awesome. I don't know what I did, but I managed to meet comfiness, durability, and aesthetics completely. Save! Requirements met will automatically exit in X amount of seconds. Play with a cat after feeding it. Sure. I'm sure cats like Ista, or fish. Snow White ball, pure white condensed constantly... Oh, what? Oh. I did it? Did I do a thing? Okay, cool, cool. Alright. Let's place things here. Okay. We have more toys, flowers and plants, seats and cabinets. Okay. Oh, and the corresponding icons in the upper left of each item. So the couch must be comfiness. Oh, I see it! So we don't need that much comfiness. Oh, but the other things take away. Oh! Okay, there is only one. So, oh, you can only choose one of each? Bro, I guessed. I guessed. Nice. That's funny. I just guessed. Okay, cool. Play with the cat after feeding it. Let's do raw meat this time. Green light. Oh, play with it. I didn't play with the other cat. You can select a cat from the throne of Meower or directly invite a cat to come and play. The cat's friendship levelers are as follows: trusted, cherished, inseparable. The 8 points where you can pet the cat are the right ear, left ear, face, lower body, upper body, tail, right paw, and left paw. Different cats have their own preferences for where they wish to be petted. Press in order to pet the cat. If you pet right where the cat likes it, its friendliness to you will increase, but this value will remain the same or even decrease should you pet a spot that displeases the feline. Repeatedly petting the same part of a cat will cause friendliness to increase by less and less, until it no longer increases at all. As such, you must adjust your approach and pet the cat in different spots. After you have switched up the places you are petting it a certain number of times, this cat's rate of friendliness increase will reset across all the body parts it likes to be petted. Once a cat's friendship level has increased to the next stage, areas where it did not enjoy being petted may change, and it may now permit you to pet it in new places. Use your keen observation and get along with them now. Oh, shoot. Alright. Hi. Oh. Do you like this? Oh. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Is it here? Oh, you like that. What about, what, did you tail? Oh, okay, fine. Okay, fine, dang. They really did put effort with these cats, alright. Was the chin part of it? Ah, the chin was part of it. Is it a +0? Okay, it is a +0. Oh. If I reach cherished, right? You have reached the cherished friendship level. Yeah, you may claim the rewards now. Okay. What about this one? Okay. Joyful such respect with Amber! Whoa! Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Both Bunny and Amber have a point. Oh, so that's it. A most astute observation. Actually, Paimon doesn't really get it either, but she can tell that Amber and Bunny have reached an understanding. Godfred, Paimon, you're here! I was just thinking about going to look for you. I've already heard all about how you're helping Valerina with the Furball Fortress. That's the Godfred and Paimon for you. The second you're back in Mondstadt, you're already being such a huge helper. I, the Honorary Knight, will fulfill my mission, no matter its nature. Speaking of which, what were you and Bunny discussing just now? You seem to be having a really fun conversation. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, I was just asking Bunny about the weather and whether or not it would rain. Huh? Do cats know that kind of thing? Lisa said something about that. According to a book she read, cats are very sensitive to humidity and don't like the feeling of being wet. So, if they notice a sudden increase in the humidity, they'll start nervously pawing their faces and licking their fur. Once a cat does something like that, it's a sign that a large rainstorm is likely on the way. Whoa! Paimon had no idea. That's so cool! Guess we just learned something amazing by accident. In that case, Godfred, let's pay more attention to cats during our travels. That way, we won't keep getting soaked by huge downpours from those big black clouds. I suppose we'll have to pay more attention going forward. I originally came here to ask Valerina about something, but just as I was talking to her, this little kitty snuggled up close to me and yawned so loudly. It was just too cute. Since she was so affectionate towards me, then I needed to show how friendly I am, too. That's when I remembered what Lisa told me, so I went ahead and asked Bunny about the weather. But she responded by rubbing her face, then wagging her tail, and lying on the ground snuggling against my hand. So, is it actually going to rain or not over the next few days? Okay, there was a cat. Oh, there it is. I was wondering where the cat was. Hello. Alright, let's pet you. Do you like your tail? -10? Bro, I didn't even start! You're back? Oh, nice. Was it your tummy? I forget. Hold on. I literally forget. Wait, what? Has increased to the next stage. Areas where it did not enjoy being petted may change. Oh, okay. Okay, so there's the back. Oh, that's what I was missing! It was the chest. Okay. And then there's the face. Oh, it's... Okay. Okay, so do you like your paws? Oh, you do like your paws. Okay. I will pet you to oblivion. Okay. There. Okay. Do you like this? I don't know what reward you're talking about, bro. Okay, do you like your... Wait, can I touch your tail now? Because you're in the next stage, right? Oh, she doesn't like that. Okay, what about your face? Oh, you like your face. Oh, that's so cute! Wow, they knew what they were doing. Friendship level has reached inseparable. Alright, we did it! Mona! Jesus Christ, you're behind me! Meow? Is this really how cats greet one another? I wonder if my pronunciation's on point. Meow? Looks like Snowball didn't understand even a whisker. Mona, are you trying to speak cat? Professor Magestus. This is not how you pronounce it. Try roaring at it like, roar! Hey, roar sounds more like tigers or lions. That's a good way to frighten a kitty and turn it into a scaredy cat. Godfred Paimon! So the rumors were true. You really are working at the Furball Fortress. Working probably isn't the right word. We're helping Valerina and Rosaria out, so we're more like consultants. Yeah, that's it. Being called a consultant sounds really impressive. By the way, great astrologer Mona, are you looking to adopt a cat to assist you in your astronomical observations? Based on my understanding of astrology, I shouldn't be too hard to teach a cat to read the various aspects of the stars. I might even teach one to help me write manuscripts? The way I said astrology earlier, let's ignore that. Steal a peek at Snowball. Boldly stare straight at Snowball. Meow! On second thought, maybe not. One who can only read the stars but is ill-versed at stringing words together would not suffice to convey my illuminating insights, I guess. If I really needed an assistant, it would be better to just take a trip to Fontaine and recruit some staff member from the Steambird, or find a Melusine who can use a typewriter and bring them back to Mondstadt. Were I to really adopt a cat, at most it would be to play with it a bit, to relax and relieve the stress from the exhaustion of academic inquiry. One mustn't be a bad owner. When you get tired, it would be best if the cat is tired enough for a cat nap as well. Before I set foot in here, I never imagined hanging out with cats would be such a joy. Ah, how wonderful life would be if we could always be happy like this. Looks like you're going to be a really conscientious owner. Guess this cat's gonna be in fine hands. But I've also heard that some cats can be quite rambunctious, always jumping around, biting, and clawing the furniture. Imagine my manuscripts or astrology tomes, ruined by feline canines! That'd be troublesome indeed. Making a snack out of precious books... Paimon could barely imagine something so terrifying. Snowball looks quite well behaved, but seems not to comprehend my meaning. Perhaps we lack that special connection. So, I would like to observe a bit more. You know, keep an eye out for obedient cats. Oh, and I must calculate the cost of a cat bed, cat food, and other expenses. Not too luxurious, but also not too shabby. Wouldn't do to submit the cat to hardship. It's okay, take your time. There are many more furry felines in this fortress. Yeah, Valerina said that she'll adopt even more strays in the future, so even if no cats catch your eye today, you can always come back often to play and have a look. Meow. I want to play. I'm gonna play with Bunny. Alright, I don't remember. So can I touch her face? Okay, yeah. Uh-huh. Alright. I think this one? Hey, we're gonna get to inseparable! Hey, hey! Okay, is that it? Hey, you two! You're doing such a great job managing this place. I never imagined you'd be so good at this, too. What kind of cats do you like, Amber? Me? I'm not really sure myself. Each cat is cute in its own way, so it's really hard to compare. That's true. Fur color, build, fur patterns, eyes, ears. There are combinations of characteristics beyond count. If Paimon had to choose, she wouldn't be able to pick either. Though, when you put it that way, I don't think I've ever seen a red cat. A pyro kitty? If there were really red cats, Paimon bets they'd be super energetic and wreck the whole house if they go upset. Well, Tibet's a big place. You can find all manner of amazing and mysterious things here. Just think about it. There are slimes of all different elements and colors, so maybe there are cats with all sorts of fantastic and exotic colors in some place we've never heard of. Yeah, you know, the Grand Master's really experienced and knowledgeable, so maybe he's seen some during his travels. Once he comes back, let's find an opportunity to sit down and talk together. We can ask him then. Oh wow, there's more lore. Well, I do find inspiration sometimes when I play with the cats, but as I do, I find my motivation to write waning. On the other end, you're always raring to go every time I see you. It's almost as if you're simply inexhaustible. Hold on, we're not workaholics either. Yeah, we're always traveling, so we don't do too much exhausting work. But when I dropped by the Steambird before to take care of some things, I noticed an editor compiling mountains of notes. Hundreds related to a blonde traveler. Destroying the pufferfruit floating here and there, defeating monsters and bandits up and down the land, escorting masterless cargo through dangerous areas. And every 7 days, taking care of commissions from ordinary citizens, sometimes completing dangerous bounties. Your weekly workload is practically 14 to 70 times that of some elite adventurers. Some people even ask for star ratings to predict when you'll arrive, just so they can hire you. Huh? So, are we actually that hardworking? And popular? If you could apply that same industriousness to help me write articles, I would provide a detailed summary and the underlying theoretical basis, and you would just help me put it to paper. We could probably publish hundreds of papers in a year. No, we'd be able to publish a slew of books with tons of time to spare. Great! Oh, my handwriting isn't exactly the prettiest. Now that you mention it, compared to professional authors, Paimon's handwriting is also, well, not the best, and not very fast either. That's fine, I can buy a typewriter from Fontaine, and it's not like articles printed in newspapers use our original handwriting, and they write quite elegantly indeed, but a typewriter that would fit the title of The Great Astrologist would be hard to find. Still, I'm sure I can purchase one if I search hard enough. Anyway, if you're willing, then we can discuss the details once I finish preparations. Who knows? Perhaps we'll become an ace astrology arrangement with the highest proportion of thesis contributions. I kind of want to read more of the lore. I like reading. Are the manuscripts being difficult lately? Difficult is not the phrasing I'd use. Not ideal in quality, perhaps. Though the results of my astrological observations are crystal clear, and my mind is equally sure about how it wants to convey them, I just can't put quill to paper. If I were to put out something wishy-washy under these circumstances, the quality would not be worthy of the name of Mona Magistus. The astrologist. Is it Magistus or Magistus? So it's not just burnout, but the high expectations you have for yourself. Yes, and it was at such a moment that I happened to hear about the trial opening of the Furball Fortress and thought I'd come by and try relaxing a bit here. You know, get myself back in the right state of mind. But after playing with the cats, I found that I was too relaxed. While the study of the stars and penning papers requires a certain seriousness, that's totally normal. Maybe you just haven't played enough. If you cut playtime short and force yourself to work, it's no surprise that you won't be able to focus. Just don't think about anything. Empty your head completely, and just take a nap when you tire yourself out for playing. You'll definitely be full of energy and enthusiasm the next day. That would be ideal anyway. But what if you still just want to have fun? You do have a point, Paimon, which does fit another possibility, which is that the current course of fate has yet to come into contact with some key factor. Deadlines are fixed, but days suited to important work are flexible. We must wait for the crucial sign. But for now, I shall follow your advice and stop thinking. I'll continue enjoying myself here in the Furball Fortress. Who knows? The sign that I should pick up my pen might just come tomorrow. Thanks, Godfred. And you too, Paimon. We'll talk again later. Yes, it looks like you still have work to do. I shan't take up any more of your time then. As long as you're enjoying yourself, Amber. That's right. Valerina also orders food from Good Hunter, so Amber, you can stay here and play when you're on vacation. Oh, speaking of work, have you finished all your recent missions, Amber? When you were asking Bunny about the weather, was it because you have to go out on gliding patrol soon? Relax, no need to worry. I won't be going out on patrol today. I was just asking Bunny about the weather to make conversation, that's all. I'm here today for 2 reasons. First, to satisfy my own curiosity, and second, to help a friend. I have a friend who's very skilled at making handicrafts, and used to make all kinds of toys for kitties and doggies. Many of the furnishings at the Cat's Tail were made by her. After I heard about the Furball Fortress, she contacted Valerina and supplied some furniture and toys, the very same ones you see here, in fact. What I didn't imagine was that Valerina couldn't bear to accept donations, and insisted on paying her. Now that the fortress is a few days into its trial opening, my friend wants to understand whether or not the cats like her toys. But she doesn't really have time, and she doesn't understand cats very well either. So I'm here to conduct an on-the-spot inspection, and the results are in full marks! If even the person making cat toys can't communicate with them, how'd you manage it, Amber? Natural talent? You practice with Baron Bunny? I don't know either. Maybe you're right, Godfred. Those do both sound like good reasons, but maybe there's another, and that's my duties as an outrider? Outriders are different from scouts, who need to both quickly obtain intelligence on the enemy, but also strike first. Outriders need to do their best to stay out of sight and use every means at their disposal to gather intel. Sometimes the chirping of birds, the bouncing of squirrels, and the grunting of boars can tell me what I need to know about monsters. If I'm lucky, animals that are familiar with me will come up and warn me of monsters of their own accord when they see me in areas I often patrol. Whether they do it by chirping, bouncing, or grunting, they all mean pretty much the same thing. Ooh, scary. There's bad guys over there. Compared to those sensitive wild animals, the cats outside are really easy to communicate with. Never mind these super well-behaved little kitties in the Furball Fortress. Paimon never imagined that Outriders would have to master skills like those. If it was Paimon, she'd probably get dizzy just trying to listen for a little while. Oh, it's not some essential skill. It's just something I've picked up from my experiences. For an Outrider, the most important skill to master is using a wind glider. On that note, Godfred, your wind glider skills haven't gone rusty in your long absence from Mondstadt, have they? I flubbed, gosh dang it. Would you like to test me personally, Instructor Amber? My gliding skills soar upward by the second. Now that's the spirit. That's what I like to see. The next time we meet, I'll be sure to give you a real test. If your skills really are even sharper than before, then I'll personally make you some sticky honey roast. Yay! Amber sticky honey roast! Let's find a time to practice a bit more soon, Godfred. You've got to make sure you can back your boasts up. Thanks for the compliments. We'll keep at it. Yeah, but don't forget to rest. Try not to tire yourself and Paimon out. Yay! Okay. Play. Can I choose? Oh, there's 5 of them. Complete setting up the feline home and finish unlocking. I guess I'm gonna unlock the other 3 later on. Honorary Knight, Cat Whisperer Paimon, are you too tired? Would you like something to eat or drink? Or perhaps a massage to relax your muscles? Never mind that for now. Let's talk business. That's right! It can't have been cheap setting up this Furball Fortress. Even Paimon knows that. If there's a problem with the finances, don't hesitate to let us know and we'll figure something out. Ah, so that's what you were concerned about. Well, we've nothing to worry about as far as Mora is concerned. My parents are both merchants. Not super rich, but they do support me with operational funds each month, so running the fortress is no big deal at all. I might look like a stiff breeze could blow me away, but I was the riddle solver in my adventuring team back when I was with the Adventurers Guild. Quite often my entire team relied on my intelligence to overcome the strange mechanisms in the ruins to get us to the treasure. That's to say, it didn't come cheap if anyone wanted to hire me as a freelance adventurer. I used to take on quite a bit of work too. Sometimes I'd even complete over 10 missions in a month. In fact, the more I earned on my own has surpassed the operational funds my parents provide with me with. At this point, I have nothing to handle my daily expenses for a lifetime and then some. Oh, I have enough, my bad. I don't really have any hobbies. Now that the money that was just sitting in my savings is being used to help cats today and tomorrow, it might help more animals still. That works out just as it should, don't you think? Wow, you're certainly wealthy beyond Paimon's expectations. Hang on, what do you mean that works out just as it should? How should I put this? I've been part of many adventuring teams in my time, and I've dealt with all sorts of animal-loving people and pets. I've also met some compassionate souls asking others, and even the Knights of Favonius or the Church, to adopt stray animals. This, while they themselves don't have any money beyond that needed to support themselves. Some good souls with the means, on the other hand, donate enough more to take care of 1 or 2 stray cats. They're good role models. I mean, it's good to have sympathy, but I don't really like asking others to do things that they, well, aren't even responsible for in the first place, you know? Just because of your own feelings. That's why solving this problem is a job for someone who's both willing and rich. Like me! I'll pay, and I'll do my part. Of course I'll stop bothering you two and Miss Rosario once I've learned how to get along with cats. Huh. You know what, Ballerina? That's kinda cool. Paimon didn't know that you had this side to you. Those stray cats are real lucky to have met someone like you. Paimon sure hopes that the Furball Fortress will help more cats in the future. Well done indeed. A commendable spirit. Such wonderful praise from the honorary knight and cat whisperer Paimon. Now I'm getting really pumped up again. I'll keep working at it. I will learn how to communicate with cats and manage the fortress as best I can. Food and drinks? Huh? Did you set up a kitchen in here, Ballerina? Paimon hasn't seen one. And what about the chef? Are you going to step up to the plate? As you can see, while this place isn't officially open yet, some guests still stay here for long periods of time. And I wouldn't say making them go out and buy food and drinks themselves is an ideal situation. As such, I've set things up with Sarah at Good Hunter, so that if our guests have requests for takeout, they can leave them with me. Then, Miss Rosario or I will put the order in at Good Hunter. In a Good Hunter. I'm not running this place to make a profit, so the prices for ordering takeout will be the same as getting it straight from the restaurant. Wait, you're not even charging them for the delivery fee? I'm sure our guests will be thrilled to be able to enjoy delicious food at the original price while playing with cats. Right? Even when you think it's a great idea. Right? Even you think it's a great idea. Don't ya, Cat Whisperer? Once the fortress officially opens, this can be one of its selling points. The more people we attract, the more likely the cats are to find a suitable owner. Once the number of visitors and the rate at which I adopt cats reaches a nice balance, I'll consider expanding the scale of our operations. Once that happens, we'll be able to add a management area and areas in which other stray animals can be adopted. Though that's an issue I'll have to plan out in the future. Just leave the business operations and data gathering to me. Don't sweat that stuff. No worries, we know you're busy. Ha! Not as busy as you, I expect. Why, I should watch the two of you work more, if anything. Alright, cool. Let's get my stuff. Give me. Oh, wait. Feline favor? What is that? Oh. When the feline... Event details? Oh, there we go. Wait, challenge rewards. There we go. I was like, wait, I can get things now. Snowball's warm little den. Oh, wow, they even have, like, little descriptions. A soft, white, fluffy little kitty. They may seem a bit timid at first sight, but once you become familiar, you will see just how friendly and warm it can be. So why not pluck up your courage, try and get close, and make friends with it? Bunny's hopping home. Bunny's hopping home. A gray and white kitty with black stripes that is nimble and intelligent. It seems to have all the energy and restlessness of a wild rabbit. If someone were to help tidy up the fur on its head and chest that has been messed up by running around everywhere, it would certainly be most grateful. Oh, it gives hints and stuff. Dustball's relaxing room, Dopey's fantasy paradise, fantastic felines forbidding fortress. Alright. Ah. Okay, so we're gonna continue this. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. We're gonna continue Fontaine. And the funny thing, I kid you not, is when I left that area that I left in Sunday, it said it could leaving would affect the quest progress, so I may have reset the quest. Who knows?
Skyward! Scatter!
Fly, Shinyun, fly! But yeah, one of these days I would love to voice act in anime. That's what I would like to do. That's like something on my bucket list. I want to voice act in anime. I don't think I'll ever get to, but I would love to voice act in anime. I don't see like voice acting as my main source of income because I'm an engineer, but I would love to do it as a hobby and hopefully gain some money from it. I like how I was able to go and leave as I please from here. Ugh. Enter the tunnel. Alright, we're gonna. Did I reset the cutscene? Oh, I didn't. Oh. Alright, examine the ladder. A ladder is required in order to return to the magic box above. This should be the control device for the trolley. It seems to be able to operate automatically. Wait. I have this. Can I find something?
Huh. What's this?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Lenny didn't mention this earlier.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Dropped hook rope. A rope that has fallen to the ground. A metal hook has been tied to one end of this rope. Its use is unclear.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Maybe it was for a trick?
Oh, Simon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Broken flower vase. There are many pieces of a broken flower vase on one side of the tunnel. All the water within has been spilled. Judging from the distance, it seems unlikely that it was knocked over by the trolley meant to transport the magic box. Oh shoot, wait, I just realized, is Savvy Panda streaming? I made a comment about it earlier. I need to wish her well. Oh, I guess. Wait. Hold on. Yeah! Savvy is playing Dead by Daylight. Let me see here. Examine tracks. High precision is required to complete this magic show, and tracks are perfect for making the trolley stay on its designated course. Already did that. Can't believe the perception skill. Is that examine storage box? All kinds of props and costumes are haphazardly stuffed inside. Perception skill is a cooldown time. That's so funny. The trolley is crucial for transporting the magic box to the other side. The culprit must have used this to execute their plan.
What is this place?
Looks like a vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Other than those that go through the magic boxes. And Lily and Lynette were in the 2 boxes.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Tunnel vent. The tunnel vent looks like it could allow one person passage, barely. But leaving along with the missing lady seems an unrealistic prospect. Oh, this one.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Lenny didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them? Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective.
Wait, when did the swirly lens get on the glasses? The young lady's clothes. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up.
Oh, well, I mean, I would like to go back up. There we go.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
It would seem so.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
The Oratrice will too?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this has ever happened anyway.
Fascinating.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neuvillette called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course.
Oh, now the swirly lenses are missing from Paimon's glasses.
The lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Now's not the time to be picky.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity.
I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
Hmm? What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
With what?
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Is there like a kitchen in this opera house? The Opera Epiclese?
You're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the Demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
Dang,
I have
he
eggs,
is
sugar,
dedicated.
and almonds at the ready.
He's dedicated.
Good work,
Dang.
you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
Must be a Spina de Rosula thing. Spina di Rosula or de?
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
That's not quite what Paimon meant, but okay.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites, and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. Navia's best girl.
Egg whites, by the way.
Good girl.
It's a real arm workout.
Because I thought of
Also need
Chlorine.
to be just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Thank you. Why don't you take a break as well?
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
So apart from the twins, we're left with 2 other people. The missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this 3rd person even exists.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this 3rd person, but the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
You only counted 3. That doesn't mean you actually had 3.
At my age, manage a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine. If you ate them, you ate them.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Oh, there's really no need to do that.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And he goes
I have
for
the
it.
egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
It doesn't yield much
Well,
progress.
that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right. Thanks for your help and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Probability of third person being involved. Neither Cowell nor Halsey had a motive, but after having talked to Navia, the likelihood of a third person being involved seems very low too.
All right. It's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably going to be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Alright, I need to pee. I'll be right back. I've returned. Hey Beam, welcome to the stream. You got here by going on Twitch. Just thought I'd answer your question. Hi Beam. All right. I guess I will just do this till 8 the following day. Whoa. Oh. Oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal added to the archive. Doo-doo-doo.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thoughts, but let's take this step by step.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Oh, that's fair, Beam. That was unique, I'll tell you that much.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Farina was just basically being an airhead.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No, I kind of figured, kind of understood that. I was like, oh,
We're
okay.
already very grateful that you are willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
Farina, like, gosh dang, shut up.
Don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Just you wait.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Lenny clearly reveals the details of the magic trick. Everyone in the audience is stunned.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be...
Oh, you're in Ken's stream? That's awesome.
You ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina. Do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
I like how he, like, hesitated. He's like, Farina, do you really want to do this?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
Oh man, she's like digging her grave.
There is no
It's so cringe. This is actually an Archon questline. This is so freaking cringe.
In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
What the fudge?
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Say it like it is, buddy.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask...
Oh, she has dichromatic eyes. Keep
what did
forgetting.
you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the
Oh, these are
count
nice
reached
cut
30
cut
seconds or
shots.
so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
How could Lily not know about that sound?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Oh. So that's how the Oratrice works.
Could those mean...
They probably represent the Oratrice's stance on the trial.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course.
Oh, she laughed. I kind of didn't mean to cut her off.
More than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
No, they are! Oh my god!
Aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
Farina!
House of the Hearth?
They're... Fatui? Oh, Nuvillette was like, huh?
No wonder they did something like this.
Oh, son of a
So the serial
biscuit.
disappearances.
Oh, no wonder why. Okay.
Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
I'm not gonna lie, she's doing pretty good.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't...
Oh, I love this! It's her inner voice. It's so cute.
Clumsy infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Wait, she's the...
Why didn't you tell us this before?
Linny and Lynette are Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Linny has concealed his identity, this could all have been set up beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now...
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information. My defense cannot proceed.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be discussed.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
While the court is adjourned, you meet with Linny and Lynette backstage in the Opera House. They're like, really?
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys.
I mean, they're not. I feel like you're projecting, guys.
Set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
Oh, come on. Just because they're Snezhnayans or Natlins or whatever, I mean...
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Such as Child!
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
But how can we know this isn't all just another lie? Oh god, come on, Aether!
So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Explain the other issue first. Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
And what did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice, which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why do you want to understand how the Oratrice operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth.
Oh, yeah, that meme. The meme's pretty
I didn't
funny.
hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe in the facts. I will defend you from these charges. I believe that judgment will be dispensed as it should.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two.
Literally.
If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need.
Huh?
The adjournment's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Lenny's statement. Lenny claims that he headed to the chamber containing the Oratrice core upon entering the tunnel and did not witness the crime taking place, and thus did not hear the thud. The voice in the Oratrice core chamber. Lenny claims to have heard a mysterious voice within the chamber that houses the Oratrice core within the Opera House's underground structures. Wait, did that girl turn to water? Is that what happened? They were twerking it? I mean, you can. I don't mind being. The brief adjournment ends, and the nail-biting trial reconvenes.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Oof. Got chills. Based on the opposition's account of events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Use your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The Oratrice will display such shifts clearly. When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and unveil the truth. Yeah, oh, I know. Oh, it wasn't you. Oh, okay.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the
flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
Oh, for sure.
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linny experienced, and what he saw.
Oh, shoot. Whoa. Identify loopholes. Lenny claims that he headed to the chamber containing the Orchard's core upon entering the tunnel and did not witness the crime taking place. Interesting, Oh, the song that was playing when I did the or like when the, because you were tired and you're like, you know the and I was like that thing, that song was a stepper. Huh. I'm not refuting that. Okay. Refute successfully.
Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, I remember you used to say that too.
Seems this won't produce a particularly effective rebuttal.
Oh!
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Oh, so I'm matching. Oh, I see. Wait, isn't that... Whoa. Oh, okay, I see. I am literally just picking and choosing. Oh. What? Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, okay.
He did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Oh. Okay, cool. I was like...
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Oh my gosh, Paimon's talking.
When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room.
An empty room!
He returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Oh. Successful refutation. Okay. Yay!
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
The on-stage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you say that Cowell bumped into Linny by chance. Premeditated.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you happen to remember how you refuted Linny's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the
Oh,
magic box
there's people from New York and Ohio went to the tournament? That's really cool.
You're saying that he wasn't?
Your claim has now become my weapon. Choose the most recent. Whoa, 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 what the fudge? What am I doing? Wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Which is that evidence that Liddy was it in the tunnel when the crime scene took place? Oh. Wait, I'm missing something here? Not yet investigated? Oh shoot, bro. Oh, you're heading out? Alright, have a good night, Beam. Thanks for joining the stream. Irrelevant? Oh. Oh.
Sure we don't need to give this more thought. Paimon thinks there's something off here.
Gosh dang it! Okay, I'm sorry. Jeez. Okay, thank goodness the game just lets me just, you know, save myself. No? Oh, it's irrelevant? Oh my god! This. Oh man, I'd be a horrible attorney.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought?
Okay, fine. We'll choose this one then!
That's right! Linny was
Come on!
or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The murderer was... Select the gear icons in the interface to check the corresponding case questions. Select answers and fill all the empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made mistakes, you must make another selection from the remaining options. Once you have answered all the questions correctly, you can complete this logic chain. The guard's investigation... Oh, shoot. The guard's investigation reported a case of the fireworks released near the end of the show. Oh, and burned through the rope suspending the water. I already know that. Linny is no longer under suspicion. Only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the prompts. Linny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box inside a box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath. Linny himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of onstage interactions. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Who is this one? Who's I don't know. Oh wait, select any clue to view. Okay.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility? Halsey is the missing person.
Cool. Alright, so it was Cowell. Bro, I'm a horrible attorney. I'm like, come on.
That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Why are you screaming at me, Paimon?
Is that so? How interesting.
Freed, I'm gonna, like, I know you're cute, but man, I really wanna knock you. Knock you for a loop.
The truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Oh, you've gotta be kidding me.
No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The deceased's name is Cowell. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
What? Oh. What? Oh.
No one entered or left. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Okay.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing...
Bro, what?
Linny was not in the tunnel. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Okay.
No one entered or left.
Bruh. What is this one?
No one entered or left.
I can't choose this one?
The sound we heard may have come from...
Okay.
It would have been tough for both...
The criminal must have understood the methods behind Linny's magic trick and must have been in a position to easily modify the equipment. Leaving aside how he died, Cowell had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. Strange noise could likely have been the sound of Cowell and Halsey struggling. Linny was on the tunnel for 1 minute. This would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there would be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Oh, that was on purpose! Where in the world did Halsey go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared. Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Magic. Escaping from the water tank. Wait, could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold on a second!
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave up. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... The deceased's name is Cowl. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
There! Wow! So, is that planned?
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Cowell's personal effects. We might find something there.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
After some time, a guard returns with news.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the Primordial Sea.
The Primordial Sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. But we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linny, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal heart! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the Primordial Sea.
The liquid the guards found in Cowell's luggage seemed to have the ability to dissolve Fontanians into water.
The deceased's name is
Okay.
The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
No. Okay.
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was something. Lynette was in the magic box. The water from the primordial.
Wrong? When did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution?
Now it seems like the hook rope was.
Okay.
The rope that held the water tank. Lynette was in the magic box on. I remember there was.
No.
The water from.
Bro, what the freak is this? Switch to another question? Who's this? Oh! What the fudge? Okay, hold on. Oh, it's right. I am an idiot. This entire time I thought you just had to put combinations together, but the question is right there. I'm an idiot. Okay, cool. Okay. There. Oh, each circle had its own question. I thought all four were to one question. Oops, my bad.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Alright. I'm getting
He
hungry.
did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent.
Alright, I'm gonna pee and make me some tater tots. I'll be back. Hello, I have started the cooking of tater tots. Ah!
Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh!
No. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry, Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
If they're a practiced hand at concealment, probably. A professional thief could make it work.
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Yeah, now it's time to refute the Hydro Archon's previous reasoning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective.
Wait, hold on. No. That is right. I want to say that. No? No? Okay, what is this one?
The strange...
Oh, the strange sound was... Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, Aether, I'm sorry. Let's see. This one!
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lily-Ann and Cowell.
Oh, really?
Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lily-Ann had not dissolved. He did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lily-Ann back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily-Ann came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Yay!
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Canny audience member. Oh, shoot!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
Get wrecked, Farina.
What? Are you reading my mind now?
Yes!
No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks.
Wait, so Lillian actually saved someone?
He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
But I think you're going to be in trouble for trying to find out the secret of the Oratress.
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately,
yes,
this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Bro, it's just like the Honkai Star Rail ticket thing. That's funny. The Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not celebrate just yet.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
He turned into water.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Well, that was kind of scary. However, nothing was found on the scene apart from the liquid left behind after his bond dissolved. That is... oh, ugh. Sucks. Poor Vaughn.
So, we're just going back now?
The problem seems to have been solved for now. We're not needed here anymore.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Winnie...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me, but still. Let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just didn't wish to see anyone be falsely accused.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Villains. So what happened after that?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the Knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, the Knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I had just been betrayed by nobles, but she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The Knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the Knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, Everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you.
It's alright. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
I understand. Goodbye. Oh, Paimon.
Bye, Linny.
Yeah! Skyward!
Oh.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
Well, I'm sorry, Navia.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Linny. I wasn't necessarily looking into serial disappearances case.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Well, if you say so, let's go have that meal then.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right, then. Let's have our farewell meal.
Oh, we finished it. Act 1 complete. Nice, 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 nice. Whoop. Oh. Oh, I was here for the limited time event with Inazuma going to Fontaine.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
Yeah. Sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
It's certainly worth celebrating. It was a pleasure working with you.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. is, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing.
Highfalutin.
That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
We wanted to ask the Hydra Archon for some information, but we haven't had much of an opportunity to do so.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for—
Yo, Zach! Welcome to the stream. Hi!
You missed your chance today.
Yeah. We've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
What the freak do you mean?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is, we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
Alright, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
It's worth a try. Would someone with her personality really feel shame?
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
I'd have to agree. My drink also tasted that way too.
Is that so? that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fonta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You could try walking, you know.
Nah, that would be so normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Seems that was pretty tough for her. That was a pretty pricey meal, all thanks to Paimon.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Something tells me I'm going to see Navia again, I'm not going to lie. As light rain falls without reason. Vache! Vache!
Skyward! Scatter!
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yes, and it's clear that it was during the day.
That's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
I can feel strong emotions. Things are getting a little blurry.
Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Oh, an ocean inn. Where's this?
Vache. Are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm afraid not. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Wait. Who am I?
Dang.
I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
You were once human?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore.
You lost your form?
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Light blue water? Could that have been... Could she be one of the girls who were dissolved?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
So, you need me to find him?
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor.
So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
I believe it will be hard for him to forget you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
That means Vache was a witness to the fact that you dissolved?
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
It seems that after the body is dissolved, some measure of the consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Is that Paimon? Ah, right. I wonder how much time has passed in reality.
Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Oh shoot! What am I hearing? What am I seeing?
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand?
Oh, she's Electro. Ooh, hot.
Quick, now's our chance!
Oh shoot! She's using her sword like a freaking lightsaber. Whoa! Her thighs don't lie! Oh! And she uses a firearm? Bro, she... If I ever see a banner that has Chlorine, I'm gonna make sure to pull her. Oh my gosh. She was so beautiful and hot. Oh my gosh. Also, again, something's about to bust out. You get what I mean? You get what I mean.
Thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Chlorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers.
I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
What just happened? Who was that?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too.
It was I!
We got lucky there.
Oh my gosh, Zach, whatever.
Fought them off otherwise.
Oh, so you're a fighter now, Paimon. Thanks for the rescue, Navia.
Come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast.
Pulled one out of Paimon's book.
As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yeah, I am. I thought I told you. I am getting a case of DZ1. The box is going to come in while I'm in Japan, though.
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
Wait, was the Fanta the dissolving liquid?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said, that the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Wait, do you mean that... I thought it tasted strange as well, but I couldn't be sure.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Will do, I'll let you know, Zach. Thanks for letting me know.
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
Fortunately, Paimon, neither of us are from Fontaine. Otherwise, we would have been...
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
What? Why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
According to Lynette, the ability to hear voices like that has to do with one's sensitivity to the hydro element.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
I also gained some new intel.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
The voice in the fountain belonged to one of the missing women. A person named Vache was a witness when she dissolved.
Oh, that important.
Tell everyone about what happened while you were connected to the Oceanid's consciousness.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
If he's still alive, we should try searching for him.
Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
Alright, partner. By we, you mean us too, right?
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Messing with us will cost them. This will prove to be their biggest mistake.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Alright, that's a good spot to end the stream. It is 10 p.m. where I live at, so I need sleep because I got work tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Alright. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We will continue this Fontaine arc later. Alright. Hey, thanks for the well wishes. I will see you later, Zach. Peace.